Hello and welcome to Reality TV News Update, where you'll find the most recent news, entertaining moments, and exclusive behind-the-scenes content. Ashley Hollis had a smile that could light up a room when she first entered the Big Brother house. Her social game seemed almost natural, her energy was contagious, and her charm was effortless. However, there was a mind behind that warm exterior that was planning each and every move, alliance, and opportunity. By the season's end, Ashley had become more than just a house guest. She had become a legend as the smiling assassin who had defeated, outplayed, and outlasted everyone in the house to win Big Brother. Like many others, Ashley's time in the house began there. She laughed easily, shared stories, and listened just enough to earn trust as she made quick, friendly connections with the other house guests. However, Ashley's strength was subtlety, in contrast to many who rely solely on charm or brute strategic moves. She was always around, always involved, but she never made any obvious threats. Due to her friendliness, house guests frequently underestimated her, a mistake that would prove to be her greatest advantage. Ashley demonstrated her ability to read the room from the first week. She played physically when necessary during the initial challenges, but she always kept her distance. She was never the first to brag about her victory, nor did she gossip without good reason. Instead, she quietly evaluated the characters, determining who was trustworthy, who was opportunistic, and who might pose a threat later on. The Big Brother house has a reputation for erratic alliances. There are a lot of contestants who rush to form cliques, only to see them fall apart under pressure. Ashley, however, understood the delicate balance between connection and control. She formed key alliances early, but did so with care, ensuring that she never tied herself too tightly to anyone who might betray her. Her alliances were more than just partnerships. They were carefully planned connections made with the purpose of providing her with information, security, and flexibility. During the first major twist, one of the season's pivotal moments occurred. Everyone ran for their lives as a result of a sudden double eviction shaking the house. Ashley kept her composure despite the panic of others. She made use of her social skills to cultivate trust and subtly steer conversations in her favor. She had established herself as an indispensable but non-threatening ally by the time the votes were cast. She was 2 steps ahead of the eviction and survived because she was 2 steps ahead. Naturally, difficulties were a major factor in her victory. Although Ashley wasn't always the strongest competitor in terms of physical strength, she was aware of when to take the lead and when to let others take the spotlight. When it mattered most, she won important competitions, especially those that allowed her to control the house's power or ensure its safety. However, her comprehension of perception was what truly distinguished her. Ashley mastered the art of winning quietly, ensuring that her opponents would never fully comprehend her strategic depth until it was too late. Winning too frequently or too loudly can make someone a target. Another characteristic of the smiling assassin is his capacity for social manipulation. Even as she subtly guided their choices, Ashley had a unique ability to make her house guests feel safe around her. She never overplayed her hand, gave advice when asked, and listened more than she spoke. She was able to obtain information without raising suspicion thanks to her charisma, which disarmed even the most skeptical house guests. Despite always being 3 steps ahead of the conversation, she was always present. Her plan included more than just individual alliances. Ashley understood the significance of timing. She knew when to change votes, when to hide her intentions, and when to let the house think she was okay. At times, she subtly orchestrated moves that drove out powerful rivals, while still presenting herself as a supportive ally. Several house guests were aware of her abilities by the middle of the season, but they lacked concrete evidence to target her. During the final weeks of the season, when the game becomes extremely personal, may have been the most defining moment for Ashley. The pressure puts relationships and loyalties to the test, and it can break even the strongest minds. However, Ashley performed admirably under pressure. She was able to manage tense situations using her emotional intelligence, while also calming the suspicions of the house guests and resolving conflicts without coming across as manipulative. She retained control when crucial votes were cast because of her emotional acumen. Ashley's strategy and skill shined through even in the final competitions. She used both her physical strength and her mental acuity to approach the final battle with precision. She won important head of household competitions and made important decisions that changed the game's course. Her adversaries frequently misinterpreted her intentions, assuming that she was acting spontaneously rather than purposefully. She quietly solidified her path to victory while others underestimated her. This misperception was her secret weapon. When the final tribal council, or jury session, arrived, Ashley's mastery of social gameplay was undeniable. The jury praised her for her subtlety, consistency, and ability to make strategic moves without hurting anyone. She had played a game that was both brutal and graceful, a rare combination for contestants. Ashley had earned the respect of the jury members through her intelligence, foresight, and unwavering calm, whereas other house guests had alienated them with overly aggressive actions. Ashley's victory was not only a personal one, but also a demonstration of the power of well-thought-out strategy. She demonstrated that Big Brother success is not only about physical strength, competition victories, and even the formation of alliances. Perception, timing, social awareness, and the ability to convince others of your intentions while quietly progressing your own game are all factors. Ashley has earned her place in Big Brother history because she embodied every aspect of the smiling assassin. Ashley, reflecting on her season, acknowledged that her strategy necessitated patience and observation. She stated in interviews following her victory, "I knew I couldn't be the loudest voice or the biggest threat. So I focused on understanding people, anticipating their actions, and knowing when to act. Making smart moves, keeping the house guessing, and smiling along the way was the key." Fans quickly embraced Ashley's persona. She proved that a player need not be overtly ruthless to dominate the game, becoming a symbol of both social charm and strategic genius. Her gameplay has been studied in Big Brother forums, fan discussions, and strategy guides. Numerous hopeful contestants cite her season as a model for how to succeed without being despised. Ashley's victory has lasting implications beyond a single season. She redefined the terms "play smart," empathy and observation as tools, and subtle strategy execution as opposed to forceful strategy execution. Her style is perfectly summarized by the moniker "Smiling Assassin," outwardly approachable, endlessly charismatic, but always calculated, precise, and one step ahead. Ashley maintained her confidence while remaining humble as she celebrated her victory. She acknowledged the efforts of her competitors, who, for the most part, underestimated or failed to anticipate her actions. She also attributed her success to her ability to remain adaptable, her keen observation skills, and her strategic preparation before entering the house. In the end, she had outlasted everyone else in the house thanks to her combination of mind and heart. Ashley Hollis's victory on Big Brother reminds us that the game is never won by chance. The player who can balance strategy and social intelligence, charm and cunning, and timing and foresight will win. The evolution of Ashley from the friendly newcomer to the smiling assassin is a masterclass in gameplay, demonstrating that those who think several steps ahead of their opponents while maintaining a smile that disarms them will win. By the time the finale aired, fans everywhere were praising Ashley's brilliance. She had defied the house, won the jury's respect, and captivated audiences with her unique style. Ashley Hollis not only won Big Brother, but also changed what it means to be a champion. Her story will continue to inspire future contestants. The smiling assassin who demonstrated to everyone that intelligence and charm can triumph over any game. The smiling competitor who was able to navigate any social storm, and the strategic mind that was able to bend the house to her will.
Ashley Hollis stood out in a house full of surprises, alliances, and betrayals because she understood the other people. Her smile was her trademark, but her mind was her weapon, and they made her a part of Big Brother
Everyone was
history.
immediately at ease when Ashley Hollis entered the Big Brother house with a warm smile, sparkling personality, and an aura of approachability. She appeared to be the ideal friendly houseguest, someone who was easy to trust and impossible to dislike on the surface. However, beneath the bright exterior was a sharp mind that meticulously planned each move and evaluated each player. By the end of the season, Ashley earned the nickname the Smiling Assassin, a testament to how she blended charm with cunning to outwit, outplay, and outlast every competitor. From day one, Ashley understood that the key to surviving the Big Brother house was perception. She had to appear friendly, harmless, and likable, while quietly gathering information and identifying potential threats. She achieved a balance that is difficult for many players to achieve, maintaining social connections without becoming emotionally reliant on any one alliance. When asked for advice, Ashley was present in the conversation and always listened more than she spoke. This tactic, which was subtle, allowed Ashley to extract important information without raising suspicion. Early alliances were critical, and Ashley approached them with care. She developed strategic relationships that offered flexibility rather than rushing to form close-knit cliques. She was an ally to some, a confidant to others, and a neutral observer when necessary. She was able to effortlessly maneuver the house's shifting dynamics thanks to this strategy. She was frequently the voice of reason when tensions or disagreements arose, calming the house guests and secretly influencing decisions in her favor. In the Big Brother house, challenges frequently distinguished the physically fit from the strategically sharp. Ashley played her game with her strengths and weaknesses in mind. She excelled in competitions when it mattered most, ensuring her safety at critical points, but she avoided overpowering the spotlight. Ashley mastered the art of winning quietly, which allowed her to advance her game without alarming others. Winning too frequently can make a player a target. One of her distinguishing features was her capacity to strike a balance between social subtlety and physical skill. Ashley's strategy's true genius lay in its timing. She knew when to speak up, when to act, and when to let the house think she wasn't a threat. She managed crucial votes to get rid of powerful rivals, while still presenting a friendliness and loyalty to the outside world. Her manipulations were never overt or violent. Rather, they were shrewd, well-thought-out moves that set her up for the long haul. Several house guests had begun to recognize her abilities by the middle of the season, but none had tangible evidence to challenge her. Ashley used social intelligence as his most potent weapon. She was able to read people's feelings, comprehend their motives, and tailor her approach to each person. Guests at the house felt at ease confiding in her, often not realizing that she was quietly analyzing every alliance, gesture, and word. She was able to gain trust and prepare for potential betrayals at the same time thanks to her charm, which disarmed even the most suspicious players. Ashley's emotional intelligence gave her an advantage that few could match in a game that is based on deception and strategy. A sudden double eviction marked one of the season's pivotal points. Ashley maintained her composure and made the chaos work for her while others panicked. She subtly influenced conversations, influenced voting choices, and strengthened her position as a strategic player as well as a loyal ally. She remained safe when the votes were counted, demonstrating her ability to anticipate the house's actions and act decisively without drawing attention. Ashley kept strategically utilizing her alliances as the game progressed. When necessary, she was willing to make difficult choices, removing threats and navigating shifting loyalty. However, she did so with tact and avoided unnecessarily damaging relationships. Her opponents recognized that she was a formidable player by the final weeks, but they lacked the evidence or foresight to stop her.
Ashley's combination of social subtlety, charm, and shrewdness had given her complete command of her path to the end. Ashley's combination of social mastery and strategic insight became incontestable in the endgame. She made crucial moves that ensured her longevity and won important head-of-household competitions. Her adversaries frequently misunderstood her intentions, thinking that her actions were irrational or of little consequence, when in fact she carefully planned each one. She had put her competitors in a position where they were constantly questioning themselves, giving her an advantage at every crucial moment. The jury appreciated her game design when the final tribal council arrived. Ashley stood out among the other finalists for her ability to maintain composure, articulate her strategy, and garner respect from her peers. She had engaged in a strategic yet socially conscious game that was calculated and considerate. She was praised for her skill at making moves without alienating house guests, which is rare in the competitive Big Brother environment. In addition to winning the game, Ashley's victory redefined what it means to participate in Big Brother. She showed that a player can succeed without being physically dominant or acting ruthlessly. Instead, perception, timing, emotional intelligence, and strategic foresight are the keys to success. Ashley was one of the show's most memorable champions because she always smiled, built trust, and took decisive action when it was needed. Ashley, reflecting on her season, acknowledged that patience and observation were essential to her success. She explained, "I knew I couldn't be the loudest or most obvious threat. Therefore, I concentrated on understanding the household members, anticipating their actions, and knowing when to react. Making smart, calculated moves while ensuring that no one in my immediate vicinity felt threatened was the key." Her persona was immediately embraced by fans. She demonstrated that social finesse, emotional intelligence, and brains could be as powerful as physical strength or strategic aggression, and she became a symbol of smart gameplay and charisma. Her dual personality, friendly on the outside but calculating on the inside and always ahead of the game, was perfectly captured by her nickname, the Smiling Assassin. More than just a season win, Ashley Hollis's Big Brother legacy is a blueprint for strategic excellence. She demonstrated that the game rewards players who are able to strike a balance between charm and cunning, who are able to make moves without creating unnecessary enemies, and who are able to think several steps ahead of time while maintaining an appearance of innocence. Ashley stood out as a master strategist in a house full of lies, alliances, and shifting loyalties. Her smile concealed a mind that was always moving. Her story serves as a reminder that the most dangerous players on Big Brother aren't always the loudest or strongest. Rather, they are the ones who are able to blend in and quietly control the game. That is exactly what Ashley did, demonstrating that a champion can be crowned by combining intelligence, strategy, and social awareness. The Smiling Assassin had won with style, intelligence, and unwavering calm, and by the show's end, the house and the audience knew this. Ashley Hollis not only won Big Brother, she changed the game and created a legacy that other contestants will study, admire, and try to follow. In the end, her smile was more than just a friendly gesture. It was the mark of a player who was able to charm, deceive, and control the house while keeping them guessing until the very last vote.